Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our Hike Like Woman Lunch and Learn live stream. My name is Rebecca. I'm the founder of Hike Like a Woman. If you're new here, welcome. Hike Like Woman is all dedicated to helping you get outside and explore with confidence. And we do that through our podcast, which we publish every week. We do that through our YouTube channel. And we also do it here through our live streams where we talk about whatever topic interests us and whatever we can talk about to help you get outside and explore with confidence. And if you're here and you can hear me, you can go ahead and drop a comment in the chat so I know that you can hear me out there. And today we are going to talk about the 10 essentials, and we're going to dive right in and talk about the 10 essentials here. So what are the 10 essentials? The 10 essentials are a list of recommended items. Let me get to this slide here. A little bit chaotic this morning. There we go. What are the 10 essentials? The 10 essentials are basically a list of items that every hiker should have in their pack when they head into the backcountry. And the 10 essentials were established in 1974. A group called the Mountaineers talked about the 10 essentials in their book, Mountaineering, The Freedom of the Hills. Now, the 10 essentials are items that are designed to help you be able to respond to emergencies and to make it so that you are prepared to spend the night outside in case there's an accident or an injury. Now, here's a list of what the 10 essentials are. So they are navigation tools, sun protection, insulation, illumination, first aid supplies, fire, repair kit and tools, nutrition, hydration, and emergency shelter. So last summer, we're going to flip back here. Last summer, actually, started a little debate on Instagram when I said that I don't hike all the time with all of the 10 essentials. And some of the comments were really good when I posted this on Instagram. Someone said that they always bring the 10 essentials and they should always be prepared, and that something as short as like a 2-hour hike can turn into a really significant emergency if something goes wrong, and no one is immune to accidents. And I really appreciated this comment on Instagram. This person had a different perspective, and they came at this from a search and rescue perspective. And they said, hey, people can get lost for days, and you could get cold, hypothermic, blah, 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 blah. And then I continued the discussion and I said, like, the one essential that I don't really consider to be an essential is illumination. And this person came back and said, illumination would be critically important. And I didn't agree with that. And so when it comes to the 10 essentials, what I think is really important is making sure that you know what's in your kit when you head out frequently on the trail. So know what's in your packing list, know what you're going to need, do some good planning and some preparation, but then modifying the 10 essentials to fit your needs. I found that when people like really overthink packing, they come up with a kit that is far too big. And if your kit is going to be far too big, then you're not even going to take it with you. So when it comes to the 10 essentials, I think it's important to be prepared, but there's this fine balance we walk between being over prepared and being prepared like just the right amount of time. So today I thought it would be fun to just go ahead and show you what's in my pack. So like what is in my pack when I head out on a day hike. So this is not what's in my pack when I'm guiding groups in the backcountry for several days. This is not the pack for that. This is not my pack if I'm like headed out with my family for a week. That looks different. So a lot of us out here at Hike Like Women are like new beginning hikers. So if I'm headed out and I am not going to be gone all day long, I'm just going to go out for a couple hours on trails that I know and use frequently. Like here's what's legitimately in my pack. And here's why I'm confident that it will, I can help if there's an accident, and I could stay overnight if I needed to. So it's fun to do pack breakdowns, and that's what I'm going to do. First of all, you might notice that I'm not carrying a backpack right now. So I used to always carry a backpack when I would be day hiking, but I am still recovering from breast cancer and surgery, and my lumpectomy was on my right side, and I'm still dealing with like some range of motion, some mobility issues, and some scar tissue issues. So I've been hiking this summer and fall, and I haven't been wearing a day pack because I don't like the shoulder straps don't feel good right where my scar was. So I have been hiking with a ribs front pack, and I actually love this pack a lot. So it hangs on the front of your body instead of the back of your body. So it actually makes it really easy to access everything because the pockets, the pouches are like right here. So it's easy to get to things. And it also has made me realize that I need to pare down what I bring in my pack because I don't have a lot of room in my front pack. So I'm just going to open up. I went on a hike on Monday. I was shooting a really awesome video that you'll be able to check out. It's going to be live on Saturday about hiking in boots versus shoes. And I actually went on a hike wearing a boot on one foot and a hiking shoe on the other foot. And so this was my kit on Monday, and this is what I had in my kit. So I'm just going to open it up, and you can be the judge. You can judge whether or not I have the 10 essentials and whether or not you think I could survive overnight or deal with an emergency. Okay, so the first thing that's always really important is water. So there's my water. And then my car keys, right? Because I got to get to and from the trailhead. And then my phone. And I use my phone. Oh, potential spam is calling me right now. I'm going to just decline that. So I use my phone for navigation if I'm on trails that I hike frequently. So if I was going to be on like a new to me trail, then I would have a topo map, and I would have maps downloaded on my phone. The app that I use for navigation is Garmin EarthMate because it syncs with my watch and my Garmin InReach. And if you were part of our backcountry navigation boot camp, you know all about Garmin EarthMate. But yeah, that's where I go for. So I use my map, or I use my phone for maps and for pictures and videos, of course. All right, so we got water, keys, phone, right? The 3 essentials. The next thing in my kit, some snacks. I usually have like a bar of some sort. And then I like to have something with a little higher glucose, a little higher sugar content. And that's because you never know when you might run into someone with diabetes on the trail who might be having a diabetic emergency, and you need to get those sugars into them quickly. So I like to hike with like some fruit snacks just in case. So these are like my emergency fruit snacks. All right. The other thing I have in here is I have an emergency blanket and I have a trash bag. So with the emergency blanket, I can use that as a signaling device. I can use it to help build a shelter. I can wrap my body in it to stay warm. So an emergency blanket, I think, is an important part and should be in everyone's kit all the time. The other thing I have is a really large trash bag. And I like a large trash bag because it can be used as a shelter. It can be used as a rain jacket, or I can pick up a lot of trash with it. So this is basically like my shelter constructing materials. And then I wrap it in just a little bit of paracord. And, it doesn't take up much space at all, but it can provide a lot of warmth and comfort. Oh, wait. The next thing is I always hike with just a trash bag because we got to pick up other people's trash out there, right? Like too many people are trashing our trails and our beautiful public lands. So I always hike with a trash bag, and usually it's full of trash by the end of my hike, and then I just throw it in the garbage. So not an essential item, but a nice item. The other thing I carry is a pen in case I need to make notes. So if I run into a medical emergency or situation, I want to be able to take some notes. Sometimes I like to write things out on the trail. Sometimes I'll have a thought and I won't want to reach into my phone and type into the notes, but maybe I'll have a thought come to me, and I like being able to have a pen and some note cards. It's important to have a pen or a marker, or I'm sorry, it's important to have a pencil or a marker, especially in the winter, something where like sometimes a pen, it'll freeze, or you'll have to scribble a lot to get the pen to work. So I just take like a Sharpie pen, and that works great. The other thing you'll notice here is my driver's license. Don't be stealing my identity here. So there's my driver's license. It's good to have some sort of identity out on the trails if something happens to you. I don't carry like my full wallet when I go hiking, just my driver's license. And then I have a really kick-ass quote that I like to read sometimes at the start of my hikes. And maybe I'll share that another day. But anyway, so something to write, that's good. Next is like what I would consider my tools, or like my survival items. So I have a lighter with some duct tape. And I think flint and steel would probably be better than a lighter, but I carry a lighter, and then my knife. And it's a pretty pink knife. It's actually very special to me. When I was deployed to Iraq, I had a pretty pink knife like this. And one time the knife met its demise in the middle of the night in an outhouse, when it slipped out of my pocket and fell into the outhouse. And it was really sad that I lost my knife to the outhouse. So like a year ago, my husband got me a new pink knife, just like the one that I donated to the outhouse in Iraq. So that's like my safety survival type items. The next thing I carry is some dermatone. So this is my sun protection, lip balm, whatever, just great stuff to have for my lips, for my face, especially here in southeastern Wyoming where it's really windy, or during the winter when there's, you can get a lot of frostbite or like chapped face. So dermatone's fantastic. You could also, like, if you need to start an emergency fire, like light a little dermatone on fire, put a little dermatone on some gauze or toilet paper or whatever, light it on fire, and that will help. The next thing is like some toilet paper, and depending on if like you're a regular pooper, maybe a trowel if you need a trowel. I tend to be near places that have outhouses at the trailheads, so I don't carry like a big poop kit with me for a day hike. Usually I could make it to the outhouse if I got to go number 2. But that's important to think about and to plan when you're heading out on a hike. So definitely some toilet paper. I just keep mine in a little Ziploc bag there so it stays protected. Okay, and then this is like my teeny tiny first aid kit. And if I was hiking with a group, or if I was guiding a trip, or if I was like hiking with my kids, I mostly do solo adventures these days. So my first aid kit fits into here, and it has what I think are like the essentials for my first aid kit. If you joined last week's Lunch and Learn, we talked a lot about first aid kits, but I have some gauze here. Gauze can serve a lot of purposes, not just stopping bleeding, but if you need to light a fire, you could burn a little bit of gauze. Just super beneficial to have if you need to kind of pre-treat some water, like if you need to filter some water or something, you could get all the gunk out with some gauze. So gauze. And then this is my tiny little first aid kit here, and I'll show you what I keep in it. So I have a whistle. Wait, wrong side. Always important to have a whistle. If you have an Osprey day pack, usually they have a built-in whistle on the sternum strap, so you don't need to go out and buy a whistle because you already have one on your pack, but I carry a whistle always. And then the other thing in here that's not really first aid is, where did it go? Oh, aqua tabs. So I want to have the ability to treat some water, and rather than hike with something like a SteriPen or a Life Straw, which are great options, or like an MSR Trail Shot, which is another great little water filter. Usually, like if this is an emergency situation, I can just like get some water from whatever water source and drop a couple of tabs in here and wait for a half an hour and then have clean water to drink. So something like aqua tabs are a great option if you're trying to save weight, but still make sure you have what's important in an emergency situation. And then the other things I have in my kit are a breathing barrier if I need to administer CPR, some gloves because I don't want to get anyone's fluids on me. I've got to protect myself there. I have some Band-Aids, some sting relief, and mini tweezers. And that's it for my first aid kit. I don't carry a lot if it's just me for a couple hours. Because I just have found that like if I have a big, huge first aid kit, I'm not going to carry it and I'm not going to be prepared at all. And then I also have some little things of hand sanitizer, and you can buy little single serve, which are not like super great for the environment. You can also just carry around like a little bottle of hand sanitizer, but this takes up a lot more space and weight than this. And so I just grab a couple of little teeny tiny single-use hand sanitizers. So when we think back to the 10 essentials here, let's see if I got them all. Oops. All right, so navigation tools, my phone, sun protection, the dermatone, insulation, not so much because that's going to be in my day pack. Illumination, so I don't carry a headlamp if I'm going to be like on a day hike, mostly because I think that a lot of times we rely too much on headlamps and flashlights. And if you rely too much on your headlamp and your flashlight, it actually ruins your night vision. And I don't know if this is just me coming from an Army thing where we were all about like light and noise discipline when we were out in the field. But, you know, if I really needed illumination, I can start a fire. And illumination, I think, is more of a safety thing, or more if you're going to be like traveling in the middle of the night. But if you're lost, right, you want to stay put. And so maybe find comfort from the illumination from a fire versus comfort from a headlamp. But if you hike with a headlamp during the day, totally your call, not something that I do personally. First aid supplies, yeah. And you can make your kit as big or as little as you need, depending on your needs. Fire, repair kit and tools. There's my knife and my lighter and my duct tape and nutrition. Yeah. Some snacks, hydration. Yeah. Hydration, not just the water bottle, but to think about something like a way to filter or purify that water. And then emergency shelter coming in the form of my emergency blanket, my trash bag, and my paracord. So there you go. In the comments there, what do you think? Was I prepared for everything? Am I missing something? What would you add? What would you take away? Is there anything you agree with me? Do you disagree? Let me know. The point I want to prove is that you can still be prepared for emergencies and accidents in the backcountry and not have to lug around a gigantic 10 essentials kit. I think you can be prepared and keep your kit very minimal, because if your kit's too big, you're not going to want to carry it. All right, but I would love to know your thoughts on like the 10 essentials. Do you carry the 10 essentials? Do you ever leave any of the 10 essentials at home? Is there one essential that you consider not to be essential? You can see on this list, like they didn't add a whistle, and I think a whistle is really important. They didn't add a poop kit, and I think it's important to be able to like go to the bathroom. So it all comes down to that trip plan that we talked about before and being able to modify it to suit your needs. Cool. Well, today's Lunch and Learn was really short because the 10 essentials are really basic, but mostly I wanted to show you what's in my kit and have that discussion with you here. Tomorrow, we're moving our Lunch and Learn live streams to Thursdays because Fridays are just getting to be too hectic as I get ready to open up my ski shop here. And so we're moving our Lunch and Learns to Thursday afternoons. And I love being able to just like pop in and say hi and see how everybody's doing and see what I can do to serve you. So next Thursday at noon Mountain Time, we are going to be talking about hunters and hikers and talking about whether or not hunters and hikers can coexist and whether or not we should coexist. This all stems to a discussion that popped up on. I run a little family hiking group, the Little Laramie Hikers, and there was a interesting discussion on that Facebook group about hunters and hikers, and it got me thinking that this is a topic we need to talk about, was like coexisting hunters and hikers, and then whether or not we can coexist, and then how to be safe as hikers during hunting season. So we're going to talk about that next Thursday. We got some great comments coming in. So Karen says she hasn't carried a whistle, but love that idea. Yeah, great idea. And Michelle's like extra socks, beanie, and gloves. Definitely, definitely, especially as we head into winter. And I consider like that's the insulation layers that are part of the 10 essentials, and that's awesome. So great. And Karen, oh, thank you. I'm glad you are looking forward to this discussion next week. And just a reminder about where you can find us here at Hike Like a Woman. You can find lots of good stuff over on our website, hikelikeawoman.com. Right now, we're getting ready to launch Treks for Taco. I almost said tacos because it's lunchtime. Treks for Tatas, and this is going to be a fun community event that we're going to be doing in the month of October, talking about breast cancer awareness and outdoor adventure, and overlapping the two topics that are, of course, near and dear to my heart and my right breast. And then we're also going to be we also are kind of revamping our website. So I've taken down our online courses, backcountry navigation boot camp, backpacking, and Hike Like a Pro. And we are kind of modifying and tweaking those online courses right now. So they are offline until they've been updated. And then you can also find more on our YouTube channel. I'm getting stoked to launch our video on Saturday all about hiking in boots and shoes. So I think you're going to like that. So be sure to go and subscribe to us on YouTube. And then if you want to get in touch with me, the best way to reach me is to send me a DM over on Instagram at Hike Like a Woman. Hey, thanks so much for being here and for being part of our Hike Like a Woman community. And if there's a topic that you want me to talk about during our Lunch and Learn, go ahead, drop a comment below and let me know. Otherwise, I will catch you next Thursday at noon Mountain Time talking about hunting and hiking. Thanks so much. Have a great day.